When I first started in credit, I was a very big do-it-yourselfer. I still am. I treat that company's money like it's my money. So I'm very cautious with how I spend it. So when I look at securing my liens, I want to make sure, how am I approaching this? How am I able to leverage everything? And then how am I able to track it? So everything to do with liens is driven by a timeline. There's nothing about liens that is not timeline driven. From the preliminary notice, to perfecting it, to how long you can have it perfected, to when you have to foreclose, or some states will allow you after you foreclose to re-up the foreclosure. Everything is timeline driven, so you have to have a mechanism for tracking that. One of the biggest challenges I see with credit managers and trying to implement a system and policy around it is how to track it, where to find those resources, and how to set something up that doesn't just add more work to the day. Because when I talk to credit people, it's like, look, I already am short-staffed, I already have a million things to do, and now you want me to write a policy, put this in place, track it, and then keep track of all these things with deadlines. What's really unfortunate is that most of them don't realize there's so many options out there, and there's a lot of good ways that you can manage this other than your very jacked up Excel spreadsheet.
Sure.
And I know LevelSet has a really good product that you're able to get on there and do that. So along with looking for a good attorney, you can also use that to manage those liens as well and not add to the workspace that you've got going.
Yeah, I think anything that you can do to get things off of your plate that can be handled by an outside attorney, LevelSet, whatever system it is, it can be difficult to set up these systems. So whatever you're using, make sure that it's being done. And if it's being done outhouse, that's great. If it's being done by your attorney, that's great. But make sure whenever you start your project, whenever you get your credit application going and you begin moving forward, that you know what those time periods are so that you can preserve your rights.
Why I want you to pay such close attention to getting all the information up front, and that's where you might consider having a job information sheet. And we'll talk through some of those things where it's just like a credit application. You're going to want to capture everything about that job for that preliminary lien notice or statutory notice, so that when you move to perfection, you have all of that correct. If you're required to get a preliminary lien notice or a statutory notice, anything you get wrong on that is going to work against you. There's no court of appeal. You don't get an accountability trophy. You don't get you got it almost right. You're done. And then your only recourse is going to be to sue them. You won't have those lien rights. So it's very important that you get the address right, that you get everything about it right. There's no, hey, it's the big tree by the rock with the barbed wire is the description of the property. This is just a small taste of a much larger class. You can take the full class for free at levelset.com. Join me.